All right. In your seat, settle, arrive, do whatever that takes for you. So for some of us, connecting to the breath. For others, it might be a body scan. But put aside external needs for right now and gift yourself this hour of practice. Feel the fullness of your body, the energy of your body, the matter of your body, the material part of your body. Feel the fullness of your spirit. It helps me to close my eyes so that I'm not distracted by my external environment. And then just notice what comes up for you when you come to stillness. Do you feel perhaps a little anxious and let's get on with things, or I'm in a hurry, or maybe it's even a little bit afraid of being with that stillness, just with ourselves. Or maybe it just feels completely delightful to be inside. Lift the corners of your mouth. Lift the corners of your heart. As you continue to watch your breath, lengthen both the inhale and the exhale. Give yourself permission to be here right now. I'm going to open us with one Om. You can join in if you'd like, or just allow the vibration to help you settle a little bit more. We'll inhale through the nostrils, open mouth, exhale. And then inhale to an Om. Okay, take your time. I'm going to meet you over on the mat. And you'll need your 2 blocks if you have them. No strap today. Go to your back. When you come to your mat, go to your back and just allow yourself to begin to move in this organic way. We call it pendiculation. Stretching from a yawn really helps you to find this organic stretching from the inside out. If you're familiar with our normal warm up that we do, you can get that going on, and I'll meet you over on the mat. All right. So once you've had a little bit of a warm up, twisting or windshield wipers, whatever it is you're going to do, come to your knees, take your block, and you want the most surface area down on the floor, and set your block between your ankles. Set your block between your ankles. You're on your knees, hands underneath shoulders, and knees underneath hips. So we're going to come into table here and just move through some cat-cows. So take your time, let your breath be the container for your movement. And the suggestion here is that we are not only strengthening our spine for the work ahead of a new year, but we move from cow, this open-heartedness, to cat, this self-reflection. So as you move back and forth, cat and cow, can you ponder that, what that might mean for you? Maybe more open-heartedness is in your conscious creation, or maybe more self-reflection, or maybe a nice balance. Cat-cow also reminds us to stir our creativity. You could circle with your cat-cow. To let things flow. To free our emotional energy and motion is what emotion is. Energy and motion, to free emotions in our bodies. Everybody come to cow. And then from cow, press the floor away, drop your hips back to your block in child's pose with the arms extended out in front. Draw your tailbone down, really lengthen through your spine. And then inhale, come back up to cow. Turn your toes under. See if you can get all 10 toes under, both pinkies. Lift your knees, press your hips back and up in downward facing dog. Draw your kneecaps up. Inhale, knees to the floor, cow. Exhale, tops of the feet to the floor, bring your hips back to your block, child's pose. Inhale, back to cow. Open-heartedness. Turn toes under, get all 10 toes under, lift your knees, hips back, straightening through your legs, downward facing dog. Feel connection to the ground, this strong connection through feet and hands, strong pose where we've changed perspective. Is there a perspective that needs to be changed in your life? New perspective, different perspective. Inhale back to the cow. Exhale back to the child's pose. See if you can allow your back body to spread wide to the sides. And then lift ever so slightly, slide your left arm underneath your right and thread the needle. Rest the side of your head to the floor and take your right hand and set it right on your sacrum. Feel and honor this strength, this area of strength. It connects and articulates lower body to upper body. Place of grounding and safety. And then right hand to the floor as you press up. to slide your right hand underneath your left, going in the opposite direction. And again, place your left hand on your sacrum. Breathe into this area. Bring your awareness there. Left hand to the floor, unwind. 2 rounds of cat-cow. Open-heartedness and self-reflection. Turn your hands out slightly, so fingertips pointing toward the outer edge of your mat, and then toes under again. See if you can get all toes under. You might have to work it a little bit. Press up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale, couple rounds in down dog. Pull your kneecaps up. Allow your heart to sink towards the floor. And then begin to rock forward like you're going to come to plank, but pick up your right foot, weight in your left hand, bring your right foot forward between your hands and drop your left knee. Hands to your front thigh, your front knee, the right knee, and come down into Anjaneyasana, low lunge. The low lunge keeps us grounded and stable while expressing this receptivity to new beginnings. Lift the pelvic floor, and you can allow yourself to really come forward of the ankle with the knee. This is actually good for our knees. And pulse this a little bit by coming up towards proposal pose and back down to the low lunge. So back and forth, just working the end range of the front knee, the right knee. Good, then inhale, come to proposal pose. Open your arms out wide, like hitchhiker arms, right? Draw your tailbone down towards the floor. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale just into a little bit of a back bend. So as you come forward, you can lift your gaze slightly. Inhale, come back to proposal pose. Exhale, hands down around the front foot. Turn the back toes under. Press up, sweep the front foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, drop knees to cow. Exhale, hips back towards your block. Hopefully you got it still there. Child's pose. Inhale, cow. Exhale, get all those toes under, press up and back, downward facing dog. Now, as you inhale to come forward towards high plank, put your weight in your right hand and you bring the left foot forward. A little bit of a cheat there. And then drop your right knee to the floor, hands to the front thigh, and come down into Anjaneyasana. Keep pelvic floor lifted, navel turned up and in. And then you can pulse a little bit through that front knee. Back foot can be top of the foot to the floor or toes turned under. Yeah. And then press into the front foot, coming up to proposal pose. Open your arms. Reach the arms up. Take a little back bend. Reach the fingertips up, up, up towards the ceiling. And exhale, hands down around the front foot. Turn the back toes under. Sweep your hips up. Sweep the front foot back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, come back to cow. And exhale now, just sit back on your block in Virasana. Sit back on your block. The block is between your ankles. You might have to work it a little bit here if you can't quite get it with your feet. Good, so sitting on your block in Virasana, if that feels okay for you. And then reach the crown of your head up. The back of your skull reaches for the place where the ceiling and the wall meet. Really find that spot in your mind's eye. Taking up all this space through sacrum, through crown. Really feel long in the spine and then twist in one direction. Back through center, twist in the opposite direction. Back through center. And now stand up on your knees, take your block from your feet there and bring your block to the front of your mat. If you have two blocks, it'll work a little better, but one could be right in the center or two side by side at the front. And then find cow one more time. Turn toes under, press up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, walk your feet up towards your hands. Keep a bend in your knees, place your hands on your blocks and press up, halfway lift. Crown reaching away from sacrum. So do a few sort of sun salutation variations. So the invitation with the sun salutation is to greet every day as a new day, right? So now drop hips back, keep a deep bend in your knees as you reach hands forward, Utkatasana. And then inhale, stand up, reach up. Exhale, hands through heart center, all the way to the side of your body, Tadasana. Plant your feet firmly into the ground. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, bend through your knees, fold, both hands down to the floor, step or jump back, downward facing dog. Inhale, drop your knees, come to cow. Exhale, reach the hips back towards child's pose. You don't need to go all the way back. Inhale, come to cow. Exhale, press up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, walk your feet up towards your hands. Deep bend in the knees, hands on the blocks. Press up into halfway lift. So legs are straight, back is straight, parallel to the floor or thereabouts. And reach the crown and the sacrum in opposite directions. Drop hips, bend to your knees, reach the hands forward, Utkatasana. Stay, feel the power of your body. And then press up, sweep up on the inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands come through heart center. Arms rest at the side of your body, palms forward, Tadasana. Grounding through feet into the floor as you stay open and receptive in the upper body. Inhale, sweep arms up. Exhale, bend knees, fold through center, hands to the floor, step or jump back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward, high Dandasana. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, come to the floor. You might have to move your blocks out of the way now. And then just make a pillow with your hands, resting your forehead on the pillow. The gaze is inward now. Draw your tailbone down towards your heels. And then inhale, press and lift. I'm open. I'm open to the new day, to the new year, to the life I want to create. Exhale, release down. Repeat just a few times. Just a few times. Pressing into your forearms, your elbows lifting, keeping back body and front body both long. And then the next time you rest your head down onto your hands, release your hands so your forehead rests on the floor, hands alongside your low ribs, press up into a baby cobra. Not too much weight on your hands, really feel this work in the back body more. And then press through table, turn toes under, up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, rock forward, high Dandasana. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale, walk the feet up to the hands, deep bend in the knees as you sit in Utkatasana. And then inhale, reach up, stand up, arms above your head. Exhale, hands to heart center, and release your hands to your side, Tadasana. Great. Let's step the left foot forward and the right foot back, warrior one legs. So the back foot, the toes are turned out, the heel is in, and there's a bend in the front knee. You can take your hands to your hips to start and just to vinyasa that a little bit so you find your good warrior two stance. And then inhale the arms up. And then out to a T. Externally rotate your arms so you're pointing your thumbs back like you're offering yourself. Good. Now the front knee is bent, the arms are open. On the exhale, straighten the front leg, round your back, bring your hands together in front of you like you're going to dive into the swimming pool. Inhale, bend through the front knee, open the arms, open your receptivity. Exhale, round, coming back in. We need both. Go back and forth with this a few times. Take your time to check in to that elusive thing we know in yoga, the felt sense. How is it now? The next time your front knee is bent and your arms are open, remember the back leg, interlace your hands behind your back, stretching fingertips or knuckles, or if you've got opposite wrist and opposite hand, just the whole business down towards the floor. Front knee is bent, take a bow. Reaching arms off back, a bow to the humble warrior. Then release your hands down around your front foot onto the floor. Sweep the back foot back, front foot back, and come back into downward dog. Rock hips back and forth. Take hips around in a circle in both directions. Inhale, come to cow. Exhale, reach hips back. Child's pose. Inhale, back up to cow. Turn toes under, press up and back, downward facing dog. Walk your feet towards your hands. Keep a deep bend in your knee like you're gathering stuff on the ground, and then sit in fierce pose, Utkatasana. Inhale, press up, stand up. Exhale, hands through heart center to your sides, palms forward, Tadasana. Find good, strong Tadasana. Ears over shoulders. Then step the right foot forward, the left foot back, warrior one. Feet are wide apart, use your whole mat. Back toes are turned out, and just vinyasa a little bit through the front knee. And as you bend into the front knee, make sure you're pressing into the back heel. Those two actions happening together. Then find the legs equally weighted. Open the arms. Externally rotate. Here we go. Now you've got this open receptivity, and then on your exhale, you'll straighten the front leg round through your upper back, bring your hands together. Inhale, sweep the arms open. Exhale, press into the front foot, straighten. Bring the hands together as you round your back. Do a few rounds like that. Same thing we did on the other side. Honoring this fluidity between being open and being reflective. Next time front knee is bent and your arms are open, interlace hands, opposite grip, reaching down with your hands towards the floor, arms off the back body, front leg is bent, take a bow, any amount, any prayer is value, right? Any amount is fine here. Bowing into self, to source. Then release your hands down around your front foot. You might have to scoot that foot out of the way and you release front foot back, step back, downward facing dog. Take your downward dog, feet as wide as the edge of your mat. Bend through your knees, hovering your knees, press your hips back, re-straighten the legs. Really draw your kneecaps up, strong legs here. Let your heart sink down towards the floor. Sinking down towards the floor. Now walk your hands back towards your feet. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Sitting back in that big squat, reach the hands forward. And press up, reach up. Hands to heart center. Alongside your body, big wide stance Tadasana. Take 2 rounds of breath. Ears over shoulders. And then from here, move to lining up with the long edge of your mat. Long edge of your mat. Turn the right toes out. So they're lined up with the long edge of your mat and the left heel out. Here we are. These are the warrior 2 legs. We're going to drop down into that front knee and then press back up. Hands are on hips to begin. Drop down, press up. Play with your stance. Okay? When we talk about creating, you know, we tend to lose that ability to create like children. Because children are so good at it. Because they'll repeat, so they'll just do something over and over till they get it, right? So play here. Be curious. Stance bigger, stance shorter. What do I want today? And then once you drop down into the final spot for you, take the arms wide or out to the T. Reaching forward and backward with the same tenacity. So we reach back hand back to honor the past, front hand forward to honor what we're creating. But we stay right in the center. So upper body comes out of the hips, right in the center. Warrior 2. Inhale, turn front palm, reach forward, drop your front forearm to your thigh, back hand to the hip or over your shoulder, extended side angle. Keep turning your belly towards me. Next inhale, sweep your arms back, warrior 2. Find it. And then inhale, press the front leg straight, bring both hands overhead, turn both feet to be parallel to one another. And exhale, hands to heart center. Release hands forward, palms forward, chest open. Wide Tadasana. Great, then turn the left foot to line up with the long edge of your mat, right heel out and hands to hips, and find the other side with the legs first. What's the stance that you need? You can draw your own metaphors here. What is your warrior stance for this day, this week, this year? All right, drop into warrior two. Open the arms. Reach equally with the back and front arm. Like you're trying to pull the arms out of the sockets almost, right? You're reaching, really active arms here. Upper body right out of the torso. And then inhale, flip your front palm, reach forward. Bring your forearm to your thigh. Back hand could stay on your hip here. Keep that back leg engaged. Or you can come up and over. Extended side angle. Bring your belly. Scoop the belly so the belly button is facing me. Navel facing me. Keep it there. Come on, you're strong. And then inhale, sweep the top arm up as you come up. Straighten the front leg. Turn both feet to face each other. Line up and face the short edge of your mat. And reach your arms out so you're in a big X. And hands to hips. If your blocks are out of the way, take a minute to bring both blocks. Most of us are going to need both blocks here in front of you. Hands to hips. Play with your stance again. We'll take a nice long inhale, lengthen through the crown, and then you're going to fold Prasarita Padottanasana. All right, so hands connected to the floor, but let's see if we can connect the head to the floor as well. So for me, I could probably do this with one block, but it's a little bit of a stretch on my low back. So I'm going to put one block on the other, one long ways and one sideways. I'm just going to rest my forehead right on the blocks. You might need to have a chair for this. But now the invitation is to rest in mental clarity. What mental clarity could do for us, help us in this new year. We're also in another inversion, so we're changing our perspective. But see if you can rest your head here in this fold. Take 2 more rounds of breath. Okay, so wherever you are now, inhale to a halfway lift. Take your blocks and set them over to the side and walk your hands forward. So your hands are in the downward dog position and your feet are wide. Pull your kneecaps up. Pull your kneecaps up, strong legs. Externally rotate the arms and let your heart sink towards the floor. Squeezing muscle to bone on the legs and maybe a little bit of isometric, drawing the feet towards one another. Very good. Inhale, walk hands back underneath your shoulders. Bend through your right knee and walk your hands over to the right. Then come through center, bend your left knee, walk over to the left. See if you can keep the sole of the long leg on the floor, so you're really opening the inside of the legs. Okay, go back and forth with that a bit. If you care to have it be a little fiercer, you can come up to hands at heart center, like you're kind of like a skater. Get ready for the Olympics here, Winter Olympics. So wherever you are, everybody, hands to the floor, bend through the right knee, walk your hands over to the right side. Left fingers turn into face right toes, right hand on your hip. Right knee is deeply bent here. Then straighten the right leg any amount and twist to the right. Let your head go. Let your head go. You can let it completely go. Bend through the right knee. Walk your hands over to the left. Left knee's bent now, right leg straight, right fingertips face left toes, left hand on your left hip. Straighten the left leg any amount and twist to the left. Let your head go. Okay, bend to the left knee, both hands back to the floor, come back to center. Heel toe the feet in slightly and sit in a little bit of a squat. Bring your forearms to your thighs. Forearms to thighs, like a sumo wrestler. Good. Inhale. Exhale, press hips up in the air and fold. Inhale, squat. You could have your hands at heart center as well for a little more fierceness. And we go back and forth with this. So we come into sort of a fold with the forearms on the thighs. And then we come into a straight back and a big squat. So back and forth here. Good. And next time you land in your big squat, right? Press your hands to your thighs, press your body up to standing. Big open Tadasana, hands forward. Take a couple breaths here, ears over shoulders, ears over shoulders. Then we jump or step the feet together. Shake out the legs. All right, we're going to do a little bit of balancing. So balancing, well, I mean, the metaphors are obvious, right? Balancing effort and ease in our lives. We're working to bring things online which maybe have been asleep. So balancing is so different every day. So can you give yourself hands to heart? I love where I am today, whatever comes up. Release. Put your weight into your left foot. Spread the toes wide. Spread the foot wide. Maybe you have some wall space that you want to work with. Maybe you'd like to play with just seeing how it goes without the wall space. Right foot rests on left foot. Oh gosh, do I have the right pants on today for balancing? I got my slidey pants on. I'm gonna find some other resources. Right foot to left calf, press the two together. Bend through the standing leg, bring the right foot maybe up into the inner seam of the standing leg, press foot and leg together, really firm everything up. Effort and ease, friends, effort and ease. Notice where you're holding that you don't need to. Release, walk around your space, shake your legs out, do a sun salutation. Come back to standing, hands to heart. Oh, I love where I am today. It's all good. Let's see what the second side brings. Open up the toes, open up the foot, lift the arch of your foot. Right leg now standing leg, left foot can just rest on top. What happens when we only have one leg to stand on? Left foot into right calf, pull your hip in, pull your hip in. Standing leg hip, pull it in. You're really contracting your outer hip there. Press foot and leg together. It's okay if the second side's different. Maybe you want to try up in the seam of your leg. Press press foot and hand together, or the leg and the foot together. Let your body do it. Don't overthink it. Release, release, shake it out, walk around your space, do a sun salutation or some hip circles. So I was on my snowboard yesterday, and every time I get into this overthinking mode, I mean, I'm an ex-teacher, so I like to be like, what am I doing with my toes? What am I doing with my knees? So my riding kind of breaks down. I have to get back to this place of joy. I'll stop and say, just let your body do what it knows how to do. Let your body and the environment interact and have fun. Top of the mat. Tadasana. Inhale, sweep arms up. Exhale, fold through center. Hands to the mat, step or jump back. Downward facing dog. Kneecaps up, 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 up. Strengthen those legs. Inhale, come to the cow. And exhale, rest your hips back towards your heels. Really find length through your back body. And then inhale, sweep arms up so you're standing on your knees. Turn your toes under. Reach fingertips up towards the ceiling, opening your heart space. Reach right hand back to right heel, left hand over. Little side, back bend side, lateral opening. Inhale, sweep both arms back, right arm back up, both arms up. Left hand on the exhale to the left heel. And then inhale, come back up to center. And now with your knee on your knees in the center of your mat, take your block beside your left knee, straighten your right leg out, heel up, gate pose. So obvious metaphorical message here is we can open to new possibilities. But so often I think what we do is, all right, here's my resolution for the year, and it's a big one, and I'm going for it. Let's sneak into things here. So just allow yourself to sort of run your hand down your thigh towards your shin. Maybe you're going to be right here at the thigh, hand on thigh, as you open the door to new possibilities. Maybe you can slide down towards your shin, and maybe you can get your ankle. I cannot. Opening the gate, keep this extended leg really pulled tightly, heel into the floor. That's going to engage the back of the leg as well. We want to use all of our resources, right? All of our resources, even the ones that kind of we've forgotten about. Inhale back up and take your hand to the block on beside your knee and open up this other side of the body. That should feel nice. Come back to center. Switch the orientation. So right knee bent and block beside the right knee. Left leg long. Heel into the floor. Toes pointed up. Again, just a little bit of a slip slide. I'm gonna have some baby goals, right? I'm gonna work my way into my big transformation, my big change. This side probably will feel different. Open up into gate here. And inhale back up. Right hand comes to the block. Open up second side. Inhale, come back up. Both knees to the floor. Standing on your knees now. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, relax your shoulders down your back. And then just find the right movement of the rib cage. So the movement of the rib cage is just a little bit to the right, a little bit to the left, opening up the sticky intercostals. Then from here, we come down to the floor. I'm going to give a couple of different options here. If you know that you need to do pigeon on your back, come right to your back and cross the right ankle on top of the left knee and draw your knees into your chest. If you know that you can make pigeon happen supine, the right knee will be bent, left leg long behind you, and keep yourself sort of propped up here in this pigeon. So chest is open, working the hips. Those of us on our back are really working the hip flexor more, and those of us in this prone position, we're really opening through the upper body as we press into the front shin. So my front hip, I'm lifting that off the floor, and I don't have any block or anything underneath it. I'm just using the strength of my legs here to hold the hip up. Now, everybody has their pose that's appropriate for them. If you are in the prone position, like I am right now, drop onto your right hip and swing your left leg around. You might need to straighten the right leg. Bring the left foot to the outside of the right leg and draw the left knee in. If you are on your back, take both legs up in Supta Dandasana, pressing through your heels towards the ceiling, a little bit of arch underneath your back, like you've got that blueberry under there and you don't want to squish the blueberry. Okay, now if you're on your back, just go to second side. Left ankle onto right knee, draw knees in. And if you are sitting up, right, you're gonna have the left knee bent. You'll just take that leg down to the ground, sweep the right leg behind, and come to second side. Second side, left leg long, or right leg long, left knee bent. The hip is lifted, so pelvis is square. Pelvis is square here. Really got our hands close to the front knee. Maybe some of you even back further if you have that availability in your spine. And you're lifting, lifting, lifting. Good. Those of you on your back will transition back to Supta Dandasana, legs straight up in the air. And those of you in prone, drop onto your left hip, swing the right leg around. Again, you might need to straighten the left leg, pull your right knee in towards your chest. This straight leg, press the heel into the floor. So your hamstring on the extended leg is engaged. Great. Then if you are on your back, release the soles of your feet to the floor. Position of comfort, rest your knees together. And those of us that are in this twist or this outer hip stretch will release both legs and come down to our backs. So now everyone's on our back. Good. Let's do a few little pelvic tilts. Super. You've probably done this thousands of times. How can it be different today? Keep the back of your neck long here. Great, then we're headed to bridge. And I like to think of bridge as we're on this, I'm on this sort of metaphorical jag here, is that, you know, we all have things we'd like to change. And we all have ways we'd like to create differently. And usually there's a gap, right? So how do we bridge that gap? What are the resources we need? Who are the people we need to help us? What keeps us from bridging that gap, even if it's a desire that we have? So let's come to soles of the feet to the floor, arms in the robot arm position, a little bit of forward tilt in the pelvis. All right, this could be your bridge right here. This is all good. If this feels okay for you, lift your toes. All right, lift your toes because we're going to get the hamstrings involved here. And then if this is okay for you, press your hips up towards the ceiling. Keep pressing up. You could even touch the back of your legs where your hamstring meets the lower butt muscles. That's nice and engaged. I want that engagement. So if I feel like I have the engagement, I can lower my toes back to the floor. Lifting, chin in towards chest. So the back of my neck is long. And then maybe I roll my shoulder blades underneath, create a little bit more lift. Arms come, interlaced hands underneath my sacrum, and I lift, and I press my pinky side of my hand into the floor. It's actually quite a bit of work in the forearms even. So you could stay here with the arms and robot arms. Watch what happens to the legs though. Legs getting lazy. Lift the toes again. Get the hamstrings engaged. Then drop the toes back down. And then slowly, friends, slowly, lower down. One, you might take your arms up to the, extend the arms out, kind of, you can feel each vertebra a little bit better. One vertebra at a time. Really go as slow as you possibly can as you lower. And especially when you get to the lumbar spine, this last vertebrae, last vertebrae is the plural. Each vertebra. See if you can really articulate through each vertebra. Lots of us have a lot of impact right here in the lower back. Coming to settle down on the hips. Maybe it might feel like windshield wipers are calling you. Allow for some organic movement. That just means that it just happens. Not a whole lot of external thought to it. So let whatever feels like it needs to happen right now in your body. Twist, a happy baby. Some more movement in your low back. Hug the knees in, take a little rock. And of course, final posture of the day, Shavasana. So Shavasana, the teacher pose of trust. So can you trust yourself? Trust the higher intelligence, the greater intelligence, whatever you call that, and surrender. Let your legs be heavy. Arms heavy. Feel the places of contact, the back of your head against the floor. Relax your jaw. Ears are soft, eyes are soft. Watching your breath. Allowing for a little bit longer exhale as we come into this deep, relaxing pose. How is it now? Stay as you are. If you'd like to come up to your seat, take your time. I'm going to close us with one Om. You can listen or join in, or just enjoy the vibration of a silent Om internally. Inhale, open mouth, exhale. Namaste.